All right, thank you for your patience. I know sometimes an hour doesn't seem long enough to break for lunch, especially when you have to run the town, but thank you for your patience in this. And I know I've seen other representatives in or out this direction as well. Okay. Once again, thank you for your patience today. Council, if you're out there, go ahead and take your seats. We're fixing to call roll call. Okay, as everybody takes their seats. Okay, Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
Here.
Anthony Conley,
Here.
John Narkemy,
Here.
My.
Tiger,
Here.
Anastasia Pittman,
Present.
Terry Edwards,
Here.
Ida Gonzalez,
Here.
Leon Petit,
Here.
Joseph Billy,
Here.
Dolores Harjo,
Here.
Karen Fulbright,
Here.
Ann Borba,
Here.
Sina Yeslith,
Here.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Here.
David Frank,
Here.
Wayne Shaw,
Here.
Tiffany Thunder,
Here.
Catherine McCoy,
Here.
Charlie Hill,
Here.
Tommy Chupko,
Here.
Danita Harjo,
Here.
Willis Dethridge,
Present.
Desiree Emerton,
Here.
I have 25 present.
With a count of 25 present, we have established the afternoon quorum, and we're going under new business now. Although I do entertain, because right after the agenda was sent out, I had received an additional resume, and it made it to the bands before the band chiefs meeting on Monday night. And then you would have had it as well as you conducted your band meetings. Another resume that came in for the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise Board, and that was Tanya Matthews. That was had brought that. If you read her credentials, they speak for themselves. So at this point, I want to be able to add other business to the end of the business of the Seminole Nation at the end of the agenda. Is there any objections to that? If there's no objections to that, we will add other business to the end of the agenda and address Ms. Tanya Matthews as a possible nominee or candidate for the SNGE board. We are now under new business. And in respect to the Tuskegee Harjo ban, I would request that the council move this TR 2023-57 to the last item under new business. The last item under new business. And this is the reason for it. If Mr. Dethridge was to be confirmed today, then obviously he would not be able to serve on the council at that point. Obviously, if he's not confirmed, he'll continue to serve on the council either way, if he's not confirmed. And some may ask, I thought we already addressed this. And at the last meeting, I addressed this to some extent. There was misinformation circulating around the general council. And that misinformation was this, that Mr. Dethridge was partly responsible for the non-compliance issues of several years ago. That was not true. He was not responsible for that. He was actually a part of the team that actually found the resolve for those non-compliant issues. And whenever something is circulated around like that, it's not fair to anybody to circulate misinformation to be able to defeat a nominee. So that's why he's back for reconsideration, because he won a national award that following year for moving the Seminole Nation forward and addressing those non-compliant issues. So that's why we're approaching it. Is there any objections to moving this to the end of the new business agenda? Okay, I don't see any. So TR 2023, yes, Representative Cootie.
I just would like to say one thing, to address it. I sent in my application in for the Enterprise Board also at the same time Mr. Dethridge did. And in the policy, Title 11, Section 402, it says that tribal members with experience is to be hired. If not, then there's the other natives and then others. So I think I have enough experience and everything, but my application don't seem to be making an appearance and everything. And I do know Chief said there was one that he wouldn't submit, so that could be mine. So Chief, I'm just going to ask you to put it in writing why my application was rejected. I'll give you 10 days to reply to that, and at least have the courtesy to let me know why I'm not experienced and I'm not a tribal member, because I think that the policy says, Title 11, Section 402. So I would like to get a letter from your office telling me why I was ineligible with the experience I've got. And that way I know why my application never appeared on the floor. Thank you.
I'll say it right now. My mic needs to be turned on, though. We're going to have to do something with this sound system, brother. Title 16, and we've already went over this in other meetings. Title 16, the chief nominates for committees, boards, and commissions. Those nominations go in, they're confirmed by the general counsel. I'm not saying that you're not qualified one way or the other, Ms. Cootie, but I nominated you for the intertribal council. And if I remember right, there was a miscount, and you got in. I think it was a tie with Mr. Shaw, and I broke the tie. He's on the intertribal council for the Seminole Nation as a delegate now. So that particular area of nominations is reserved with the chief. So there needs to be no letter. There needs to be nothing said on this. It's the nomination of the chief confirmed by the council. It has been that way in tribal code for a long, long time. And I realize that certain ones want to be on certain committees, certain commissions, and so forth. And I gave the courtesy to the council to even submit resumes or people that they may think could serve. And that was open. That was a courtesy of the office of the chief. But it's still the chief by tribal law, tribal statute, tribal code, who does the nomination. And that's tribal law. So I want to go on the record of saying that. And if you're viewing this as tribal members, that's how the law really is. That's not how somebody wish it wasn't. That's how it really is. Okay, now we're back to, okay, there was no objection, so that's moved to the end of new business. Here we go. TR 2023-58, a tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, appointing Deborah Johnson as the Assistant Treasurer of the Seminole Nation. I entertain a motion to that effect.
I make the motion. I'll second.
A motion by Sina Yeslith and then seconded by Karen Fulbright. Discussion? Representative Narcomi.
Call for question.
Okay, there's no discussion. This is TR 2023-58, the tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma appointing Deborah Johnson as Assistant Treasurer of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narcomi,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
No.
Terry Edwards, Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy,
No.
Dolores Harjo,
No.
Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
No.
Desiree Emerton.
No.
I have 12 yeses, 12 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 12 yes and 12 no, the chairman votes yes. I declare TR 2023-58 to have passed. TR 2023-59, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a one-time appropriation of $1,200,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act of the 2021 funds to expand the dental office for the Wewoka Indian Health Center. I entertain a motion to that effect. Got a motion by Representative Narcomi, second. Second by Representative Gonzalez. Discussion. Representative Petit.
Was there not discussion about, I think, Seminole one time, whenever they were gonna do that remodeling or reconstruction over there, that they couldn't use, federal funds to do that to the IHS facility? Or,
No.
or ARPA funds or something like that to do that, because it
No,
affect their
No, that-
contract with them?
no, that's not the case. Stendock has always desired to have the lease. When the last administration was in office, the council gave them the lease. We had an opportunity over the years to have a lot of this already done and paid for by Indian Health Service. But we made the health and the services of our tribal members secondary to leases and economic development. So it got caught up in all that. What this actually means is that there's what we call a performance period under ARPA funds. When that performance period is over, then SINDOC will have the option to be able to do a lease, even though it's federal funds. But what I want to share with the council, whether a SINDOC gets a lease or they don't get a lease, consider your people's services. We have one of the best dental clinics around, but they don't get to folks in a timely manner. So this will give them 3 times the chairs and practitioners to go with it. So this is just a health need. It's allowable under ARPA to do these types of things. So that's why it's before you today. Who has those magazines? Anyone has those magazines? Back a few months ago, we had a health disparity session. It was sponsored by a nonprofit organization. They brought in their own dentist, and they opened it up for the area to come and get their teeth worked on and get glasses, optometry work, all those type of things. I worked with that organization because I knew the need was here for those types of things. And within that period of time, the first day, it all filled up. They thought that it would take weeks to fill it up. One day, all the eyeglass and all the dental was filled up. And if you got that magazine, they did a great article in that magazine. I thought I saw a stack of them somewhere around here. Yeah, you have that. I thought there was one for every council member. That it was a health disparity event. And our tribal members went out there who was in line to go to the clinic but couldn't get out there because of the waiting time. And they got served by a nonprofit organization. They're going to come back again somewhere in the future. So whenever there's opportunities like that, and this was open to all and everybody. It wasn't just open to Seminole Indians. It was open to all and everybody. So it's a good little magazine. If we still got some of these, anybody want them, pick it up. It tells us about the article. I hope you take, and I don't have Chief Palmer here, or I'd let him chair so I could talk, but he's not here, and that's why I'm speaking in this way today. Representative Dethridge, I saw your hand.
Chair, I yield the floor.
hold on, Representative Dethridge.
While I do agree with you 100% on that, our obligation as council should be to serve our people, provide them the best medical resources we can provide. And I'm all for it. That was just a question that had come to my mind because I was thinking I had heard that said on this floor about something about, I'm not gonna call it commingling of funds, but using the ARPA funds to do things. It had something to do with the lease or something. I
Well,
think CINDOC was.
the SINDOC, as they always have been worried about, was that lease. Now, when I was, and I have to say these things because this is the way it is, we could have already had that community outreach done, totally paid for by Indian Health Service. We would have been out a nickel. They wouldn't have had to go out and try to get a loan to build it. But instead of doing that, this is just what I said back then, and I'll say it again. Don't put our people's health and the services to our people as your economic development package. You can't come up with something better than that. Don't use my people, the Seminole Indian people. And now, obviously, Freedmen can use these services as well. We know that. And any services that come through HHS, federal government, it's coming through. And those facilities are included. So, okay. Okay, Representative Dethridge, then Representative Shaw.
Bandits asked for a friendly amendment to this legislation, and that being that if this is a rental property for CINDOC, that the money that CINDOC receives would come back to the nation and be placed back into the general fund as opposed to going to CINDOC. Make that motion, ask for a second.
He's asking for a friendly amendment. The original motion, folks, do y'all accept that friendly amendment? And I'm going to say there's a standing resolution that CINDOC operates the leases to the IHS facilities. So there's a little bit of a issue there, I think, theoretically. But you can specifically say this if you want. Does that friendly amendment, is that accepted? Let's see. Basically, he's saying that if there is a lease that is obtained through the additional space that's developed whenever that lease would become available, that it goes back to the tribal side and not to the Division of Commerce, just for those spaces. The other leases are still in place. Additional space that could be built. Do you accept that friendly amendment? Okay. How about the second? Who seconded that motion? Who seconded the motion?
Gonzalez.
Oh, do you accept that friendly amendment as well? You don't? Then we go back to the friendly amendment and we vote on the friendly amendment. Representative Dethridge states your friendly amendment clearly. This is basically that with the additional space, if there is lease funds that are obtainable from the additional space, then that particular lease for that additional space goes back to the general fund or to the Seminole Nation and not to the Division of Commerce. Is that clear? And that's the friendly amendment. And because it wasn't accepted, we're voting on the friendly amendment only. This is the friendly amendment only. Any questions? Representative Shaw.
No question, because Representative Dethridge asked for the friendly amendment. He accepted it. There doesn't have to be a vote on an acceptance. All we have to do is vote on that
Both.
put in there. The original deal is gonna have that, the original resolution. Now we'll have what Representative Dethridge asked for a difference. So all we're doing is we're voting on that one with a change, and that's it. That doesn't take a second. Now, if somebody would have objected to that at that time, then it would have taken a second.
That's exactly what happened, Representative Shaw.
I didn't hear anybody
Yeah,
object.
Representative Gonzalez turned it down.
now, I've got the floor, so I want to ask a question. We're looking at this, I was asked last night, at our band meeting, night before last at band meeting.
We're not to the original motion yet. We're just on the friendly amendment. We're gonna vote on the friendly amendment, and then we can come back to your, question on the total thing, okay? That's where we'll proceed. And then right after the friendly amendment's voted on, we'll come back to the original question, whether this friendly amendment passes or not.
Did she get a second?
Oh, yeah.
Your objection?
And what it is you asked the approval of the friendly amendment. She was one of the motioners. She's one of the ones that made the motion.
But she accepted, or he accepted.
Yeah, but both, a motion's no good unless it gets a motion and a second. And therefore, she objected to that language being added. And she was a part of that motion. We're voting on the friendly amendment, okay? This is friendly amendment only. This is if this was to be approved, then CENDOC doesn't get the lease for this particular additional space. But it goes back, according to what was stated, general fund, which would be tribal side. Okay, Secretary, I think we're clear. Call the roll. This is friendly amendment.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
No.
Terry Edwards,
No.
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Oh, I don't even know what it was.
Ida Gonzalez,
No. Say no.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
No.
Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy,
Abstain.
Charlie Hill,
Abstain.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 10 yeses, 14 noes, 2 abstain.
On that friendly amendment, there's 10 yes, 14 no, and how many abstentions? 2?
2 abstain.
And two abstentions. With 10 votes for it, 14 against it, and 2 abstentions, I declare that friendly amendment to have failed. We are back to the original motion. Representative Shaw.
I'm looking at this, and this was asked, we're trying to save money for the nation, am I correct? And we're not here to be good stewards of their money? They want to know why there's 2 conference rooms here. They're gonna build a new conference room right at the front of the clinic up there. And then we've got a conference room back here. They don't have a big enough dental staff to have that large conference room. Why do we have to have 2 conference rooms? That's what I'm asked. So, we could downsize and save a little bit of money, but, now the other question is that under that awning? Or does that take up into the parking spot?
I think where the projected, if this was to be passed by the council, the projected dental expansion would be to the west. Eventually, the new entryway for the clinic will be from the west, coming in from the west. There'll be additional parking lot, where that clearing, some of you have been over there recently, where that clearing's taking place. The 10,000-foot expansion will be to the north, and then the drive-through pharmacy will be under that, not under that awning, but in that vicinity.
If it keeps going like it is, we'll have this whole, we'll rebuild the whole clinic before that parking lot's done, because we've been at that parking lot for almost 2 years now. Sendoc hasn't finished it. They've cleared off a few trees and that's it.
Actually, we cleared that off. The nation did. And one of the problems in the Bureau of Indian Affairs is expediting that particular parking lot so that we can build a permanent cement parking lot there. But unfortunately, this council believed that they passed all that as part of the tip and part of the tribal improvement program and the inventory. For whatever reason, we're having to expedite that now through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So that will eventually be done, and it'll all be done eventually for the health and well-being of our people.
Now, how about the conference rooms?
I don't know about conference rooms. All I know is it's going to create three times the amount of chairs, 3 times the amount of
That
potential.
conference room ain't gonna have no chairs in there.
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah.
Question's been asked and answered.
That what they're doing, they'll be rearranging that whole clinic, Wayne. It's lined up. This will be additional space for dental. That's what it's governed to do. And I want the freedmen to know this, that everybody knows that the freedmen take part in IHS facilities now. Representative Cootie?
I'm looking at this budget and it says, total direct expenditure, 2,000.
Why not a budget breakdown?
It looks like it's only going to one item. Is that, I mean, the construction company, is that all it's gonna be? Nobody else is gonna be working, no employees or anything? Is that what I'm reading here?
No, that's to expand the dental space. IHS comes in and they equip the whole inside. Basically, we're building the shell for that expansion. And IHS comes in and equips all the interior and all that type of thing.
But they don't get any of that 1,200,000? It's just gonna be the.
Oh, no,
people that-
this is totally for
expand it?
the tribal part to expand the dental clinic.
It just says capital outlay and then. of
Yeah,
course,
because it's
that
becomes a part.
1,002,000, are they getting all that money? Or,
No,
that's
capital.
what I'm understanding, so I'm asking
Capital,
you.
capital outlay, you put it within that particular arena because it becomes the property of this, obviously, of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. It's a capital outlay, a build out.
And then on the back, it said,
It's gonna cost more than 1.2, but
Yeah,
our
but-
contribution for the shell of the building is that.
and the estimate was from 2019 at that, and total it's got 461,900. Is that what it's gonna cost, or 2,000?
1.2 on our part, whatever the resolution says.
So the rest will come from IHS.
IHS will build the insides, interiors. Okay, we're back to the original resolution, tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, approving a one-time appropriation of $1,200,000 for the American Rescue Plan Act of the 2021 funds to expand the dental office for the Wewoka Indian Health Center. And basically, that's the dental facility. Okay,
Question.
Secretary? Call the
Leetta
roll.
Stimpson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
No.
Terry Edwards,
No.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Abstain.
Charlie Hill,
Abstain.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 15 yeses, 8 nos, 2 abstain.
With a count of 15 yes, 8 no, and 2 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-59 to have passed. We have TR 2023-60, tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a revision to budget for the Agricultural Sovereignty Initiative and incorporation of said budget into the 2024 comprehensive budget, authorizing an appropriation. Is Miss Angela with us this afternoon? I entertain a motion to get it on the floor. A motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion by Representative Fulbright, seconded by Representative Borba. Representative Petit. Representative Petit.
Chair, I was just gonna second that. I didn't realize you'd done
Oh,
that.
okay. Adam, is Miss Angela with us today? She was, okay, if you have any discussion here, Representative Yisleth and then Representative Shaw.
Yes, my band asked for clarification of where the other 50% of the money was coming from.
The LATCF funds are going to be presented in another budget. LATCF, we received, we applied for this last fall, and some of it took care of some of the comprehensive budget that the council passed, LATCF. And we have $3 million coming additionally sometimes this month. We also got word that there was reallocation of LATCF, and we don't know how much that will be, of additional funds that we will receive. And potentially more ARPA funds could be reallocated as well. We don't know the answer as far as how much that will be, but we have enough in LATCF to cover the proposed budget coming at the special call meeting in a couple of weeks. Representative Shaw.
That's great and everything, but on this budget here, it says 100% of that salary is going to be, what is it? I just got through. It just says 100% of the salary, which is going to be approximately $32,000. Then you come back over here, and then when you do this background budget breakdown, it says the executive director will make $23,161, and that's 50% of that budget. Now, where's the other 50% going to come from? I think that's what Ms. Yesler is trying to find out, because this is the way it's set up right now, it's totally untrue. It says one thing and then it says another
The
thing.
budget officer, here.
And did this go through our finance committee?
Yes. Representative Gonzalez? Representative
Yeah,
Gonzalez?
we have a resolution coming up. It's TR 2023-62. And this is also for the Food Sovereignty Initiative. And this budget, it would be for $156,000, which is going to cover that amount that you're referring to, Mr. Shaw.
But it's just monies. It doesn't, I didn't look at this because it, usually you say 50%. When you say 50% from one place, you also give a definition of where the other 50% is gonna be. That's what I'm talking about. We just get $156,000. That's all it says over there. It doesn't say that will be 50% of that salary or anything. So you've got me thrown into a quandary right there because I don't understand. I thought, I went to school one day in my brother's place and I learned 2 and 2 were 4, but y'all are getting me in the wrong place here because you're telling me that
What happened with that?
now that's not right. You know, maybe
Huh?
finance committee is more astute than
What's
I
not
am.
right?
But, you know, I'm asking questions.
Yeah, we know that.
People out
But
here
why
have
was it
looked
in
at
here?
and are asking
not
me
ready.
to explain, and I can't explain it
I know.
because
That
it
says
doesn't say where the
100%.
other 50% is coming from. Now you're saying it's coming from another program over
Oh,
here
the one I got.
that
said-
you're just asking a one-time appropriation on it with no budget breakdown on it. So I don't understand. And don't get me wrong, this food initiative is one of the
Where's the
best
100%
things that
at?
could happen to
I
us.
seen it somewhere.
And I would totally agree, had it not been for the way the budget is set up. And I don't know, I think as a council, we need to get that straightened out before we, I said, I don't wanna pass it, don't think I don't. But I've been at this,
Representative Shaw, the budget officer has, she can answer that. I think, well, I'll let her answer that.
So the Agricultural Food Sovereignty Initiative budget or program will have 4 different budgets. This one is a natural resource budget from the BIA, and we, it's like 38,000. This one, she put in 50% of the executive director, and the other 50% will come from the LATCF budget, which wasn't ready at the time we needed to hand it out to you guys. So this one was already passed, and the other one that's coming is actually the insurance claim. It's not coming out of that one. The only thing that insurance is for is to repair the aquaponics. So we still have the USDA one and the LATCF budgets to come on the special call, and that's where the other 50% will come from.
you know, that's great, you're telling me this here. But I need this information to take to my people before I come up here and start making a fool of myself. Because now you're telling me one thing and you didn't give me the full information. That's what I'm talking about. We're not getting full information for our people. I am for this initiative, 100% for it. But the thing is, the way it is right now,
Representative Shaw,
it's way on numbers. I mean, I'm not an accountant, so I can't keep up with them numbers because you put it over here, you jump over here, and you jump here. And you're
The
like a pro-
idea was to have all the budgets ready.
That's the reason I'm asking, why don't y'all just put it all in one budget so people can read it as is?
the BI funds, they're waiting on this small budget for 38,000.
I understand that, but if you go get 50% out of that BIA funds, you don't say where the other money's coming from or nothing, then you come down here and then now you're telling me it's over here on another resolution that just says, I'm asking for 150-something thousand. It doesn't say to pay the other half salary. It should be stated in here, if you're gonna hire somebody, it should say 50% from here and 50% from there. That's what I'm talking about. We're not getting proper breakdowns. Does anybody up there know how to do budgets anymore?
it says 50% from, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Natural Resources. The other 50%.
I'm not disputing the Bureau of
Yeah,
Interference.
the other 50%, as I said to Representative, Yesleth, is coming from LATCF funds. That budget will come to you at the next council meeting in 2 weeks. And then you'll have a complete budget. But we have to vote on the Bureau wants us to have that part of the budget to them. They're on a time frame. So that's why it's appearing before you today. And we apologize for any confusion it may have seemed to have caused.
Under this right here, when you get back, give the next one.
Okay. Okay, back to the original question. We got a motion and a second.
What do we vote on? Just have, so we're gonna vote on somebody that worked 6 months now.
We're going to vote on that resolution that's before you.
Okay, the way it's budgeted here, same page, it's got 50%. So they only gonna work 6 months? Maybe y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. Si jara mo na kayo kiserido, man anbo na ako ya chinachingin so na labo.
Ideally, we were gonna have all 4 budgets, but the other 2 wasn't ready yet. Like he said, this one's on a time frame, so we brought this one to.
But we're not on a time frame. We're on a time frame with the BIA. What I'm saying is, you could have put back there that we're looking forward to get other 50% from where? Instead of my left pocket, now it's gonna have to come out of my, other 50% is gonna have to come out of my right pocket. So you understand what I'm saying? You got me confused, and then people are asking questions, and, they're very confused too. I will vote on this, yes, but the thing is, it's the way it's set up and the budgets are set up. And it went through the finance committee, that's why I'm asking, don't anybody up there know how to do a budget anymore? Because we're getting everything just single line items. Y'all don't break nothing down for us anymore. And that, I've got to
I
go
wouldn't
back
go-
to my people and talk to them. I've got some people out there that are accountants that I don't know nothing. Y'all make me look like I don't know nothing. Then, when we ask questions, we don't get those answers because we don't get, proper information. Then we turn around and make me look bad with my band. Makes me look like I don't know nothing, although now I understand where you're coming from. But the thing is, we didn't get it till today. That should have projected. Y'all always work off projections. Now you can't work off projections. We can only work off what the BIA said. No, you still going to project. We still project the money is going to come from whatever you're saying.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not projecting that funds, that money's in the bank account.
Projected, then what did you put it on? So we can understand it. That's what I'm saying.
It's,
Anybody with them all that, I'll give it up.
okay, any other discussion? This is TR 2023-61. No, it's not. 60. TR 2023-60.
Call for question.
This is that BIA Natural Resources Fund going to be used for the food initiative. Secretary, call the roll.
No.
Anthony Conley. John Narkemy.
Yes.
Rena Tiger. Anastasia Pittman.
No.
Terry Edwards. Ida Gonzalez.
Yes.
Leon Petit.
Yes.
Joseph Billy.
No.
Dolores Harjo. Karen Fulbright.
Yes.
Ann Borba.
Yes.
Sina Yeslith. Lottie Cootie.
No.
Marilyn Moore,
No.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw, Catherine McCoy, Charlie Hill, Tommy Chupko, Danita Harjo, Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton. I have 15 yeses, 10 nos, 0 abstain.
With a count of 15 yes and 10 noes and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-60 to have passed. We have TR 2023-61, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a one-time appropriation of $3,500,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds to expand the wellness center with an indoor-outdoor swimming pool and resistance pool. I entertain a motion to that effect.
Motion.
Motion by Representative Fulbright, second by Representative Gonzalez. Discussion. Representative Dethridge and then Representative Petit.
Resolved where we can build an Olympic-sized swimming pool here.
We obviously know that we brought a water bill early on in this administration. That was a commercial water well proposal. It did not pass the council. We have since then had to be able to move in a manner and a way to meet the needs otherwise. So we have a well down here to help meet some of our needs, and we will drill another well, small one, to meet this need, if need so be. One day, we believe when this other LATCF funds and maybe ARPA funds, if we want to bring up commercial water well again, we will have that opportunity to do so. But to answer your question, we will have water. We are over one of the largest aquifers in the central part of the United States. Representative Dethridge.
Can you tell us about the cost of upkeep after we get this expansion taken care of and we've got this pool? Is it going to be self-sustaining or
The majority of it will be self-sustaining, but right now, Indian Health Service is leasing for any type of water aerobics and health initiative programs with the city of Holdenville. It's putting our elders out in the elements and where they can be, in my opinion, gawked at by bystanders and drive-bys and people walking through the park. What this will do is open up a whole new venue, not only for health initiative, for mobility and circulation, for diabetes, but it will also become recreational. Because when we say indoor-outdoor pool, that's what we mean. In the summertime, those big insulated doors that this will be built, they will be open. You won't have to run your HVAC system. We will also work with the Boys and Girls Club and any of the other programs that we can get volunteer help for and those types of things. It's a need. It's there. There's not another swimming pool in a reservation right now. Matt, I think I saw a Representative Cootie's hand first, and then I'm going to go to Representative Pittman, Representative Narkamy, Representative Petit, then Representative Billy. Representative Cootie.
We're talking about the water situation and everything, and it'll be a while before it's fixed. So if we get the swim pool in before the water is fixed, and we can't use the water, then what? We just let it sit until such time as the water is fixed and has a lot of the elders, they don't have a way to get out here to utilize the pool. Are there gonna be a transportation to transport them out here for the use?
If elders need a ride, I'm gonna share what we hope to do, as this facility across the road opens. And that's gonna be Friday night of Nation Days, Friday late afternoon. That's gonna open up. And we hope that, that game, bingo, Dauber bingo, will be offered on Saturday nights, right there in that location. It will double as the OAP or Senior Citizen Center. And then I'm gonna propose to the council that any funds that are made from that activity goes back to elder activities. And that means OAP, that means other type of activities that may come that elders want to participate in. And I would hope that we could eventually buy a large transportation vehicle, bus, and be able to take our elders on trips, events, museums, go to other tribal functions from time to time. So yes, we're going to have funding to be able to do those things. And as far as transit is concerned, all we have to do is say, make it so. And they will make sure that those folks have a ride to this facility.
Does anyone ever go to the program or senior center and talk to even these elders when they come to eat about different things? Because some were telling me they didn't know anything about this feeding program coming out here and everything. I said, well, I didn't either until lately. But, you know, they say, you know, we're not consulted on anything. And that's one of the things that the senior center is supposed to do is let them know what's going on and what's planned or whatever, so they can have some kind of input. And being elders, I keep waiting for somebody to come and say, hey, Lottie, do you need any help or whatever? I mean, I've heard somebody say, I'm rich, I don't need help. But I wish I knew I was rich. I'm not, so. But I think that a lot of times people tend to forget and we get left out. And so I think that right now, senior center, it can use activities right now and nobody wants to do it. So I had a little activities for them and they enjoyed it. They said they were appreciative and they appreciated it. So it's the little things that could be done. And we also talked about nursing home, we talked about live-in or whatever, and we just dropped it. Now we're talking about swimming pool. I think that senior centers, not senior center, but nursing home or whatever could be more beneficial to some of our people because they live out in the country. When I deliver a basket of food and during Thanksgiving, I run into these homes and everything. You'd be surprised. You wouldn't live out there like that, but they have no choice. So they live in a place where the houses are run down and need help, but you know, they can't get help. They just give up asking for it. So I just feel like that there's other more important things than the swimming pool. We got to have insurance. We got to have lifeguard. We got to have care. Somebody took care of those pools. There's got to be money coming in. This government money is going to run out, people. And then we don't have really anything in place for us to use to fill in those spots where those monies are being distributed to different programs. We got to pick those up. So just think about things that are important to the people. We work for the people. The chief does too. But we tend to forget and kind of pleasure ourselves and everything. So I think that it's high time we start thinking about the elders and the young people. The young people, I don't know how many will come out here and play in the pool and enjoy themselves or whatever. We got playgrounds out here. There's money being spent. This arbor we got out here, we could have used maybe those monies for something else. But we don't. We can't build that in like enterprise things that's supposed to bring monies in so that we can fall back on it when this government money runs out. I think about that because I feel like there's nothing in place for me because I'm not going to be out here every day going swimming because my body needs it. And I don't think there's other seniors that's going to do that. So think about it, people. You're young, but when you're going to get there, you're going to get as old as I am. So, but I just want y'all to think about that.
the real fact of the matter is, there was a lot of our elders participating in the water aerobic program and still do at the Holdenville pool outside of the Seminole jurisdiction. When the Seminole State College had their pool, there was a lot of our people participating in that. And then when they closed their pool, that closed that avenue. And I just think, you know, it definitely would be beneficial. We can promote it. Your first question, can we get the elders there by transportation? My answer to that, yes. I would direct that transportation director to get our elders who want to go to those sessions, if this was to pass, and take them to and from this facility. Oh, I forgot how many raised their hand now. It was a bunch of them. Who did I say was after Representative Cootie? I don't know. Was it Representative Petit? Okay. All right. He's giving the floor to you, Representative Pittman.
Mr. Chairman, can you explain, or can we allow the Finance Committee to explain that some of the questions that are being asked?
You're on the Finance Committee. Go ahead.
Okay, some of the questions that are being asked about finance, some of the things we cannot provide until we have hired a contractor and until they give us how many FTEs or full-time employees or materials, things that they need, then we can flush out a more lucrative and more concrete budget. But I don't want our general council members to think that our finance team is not putting in the work or not doing their due diligence in providing this information. We have to provide information as we get it, but budgets can be more complete after these allocations have been made, and then we hire contractors, then we can give them more information, detailed information.
Appropriation. This is an appropriation. This is an appropriation. Representative Yeslith, what did you need? Was you going to speak? Representative Petit?
Simple. One of our members, they asked, is there going to be matches have to be made from the Seminole Nation on this? And then the others questions were, have we received any outside construction bids other than what we provided?
We don't talk to construction companies till the bids are going out. That's outside of the procurement policy of the Seminole Nation. But we do get pretty much estimates on square footage, what it take to build the pool, and then we actually have drawings of a facility. So that's where the estimate of $3.5 million came in at. If we are under that, wonderful. We don't have to spend it. If we get the appropriation, obviously, those things will be forthcoming. Representative Yeslith? I think Representative Billy. Representative Billy?
Yes, sir. My question is, have we thought about, like an individual that would be doing this on a regular basis? My thing is like a certified pool operator, because you still have to abide by the state regulations, because it is going to be a public pool. Am I correct?
It's going to be for us. We're not opening it for those people on the outside.
But still, you have to follow the Oklahoma guidelines, the health department guidelines.
Well, health department areas, but it's on trust land, so we govern what takes place on the reservation on trust land.
But I mean, one of my point is we can't pick and choose as far as that word sovereignty is concerned, because you have more than one individual in that pool.
Oh, sure. I hope it's full every day if it passes.
So the health department is out there, because by law, they have to inspect it.
We have
whenever
our,
they want to.
we have our own,
It must be, the chemicals must be checked twice a day.
we have our own environmental protection office who can run that.
and you're looking at the chemicals, it's gonna cost you at least $20,000 a year, if not more. And the equipment,
We're gonna have third-party billing from Indian Health Service and other federal programs that will utilize the pool for our people. So there will be additional funds that can come into to the overall functions of the operation.
but, okay, yeah, and that's fine, but we only get just partial description on this resolution. You're making good points, but I'm saying, well, we only ever get partial, explanation. We just got a $3.5 million, that's all it says. $1 million indirect cost. That's it. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Thank you for those comments, Representative Billy. Any other questions? Representative Yesleth.
I just want to make a comment that I agree that, this is wholeheartedly needed. And I don't know if many of you may know, the water aerobics started back, when Susan Deathman was a nutritionist, and Cynthia Galbraith was at the clinic in the community health. And this was something that was really needed for our diabetes and our elders, to the fact of the college did somewhat worked with us, but didn't at the same time. So I actually went and got my lifeguard certification because I was working with the program at that time in order to get it started and going. And our elders loved it. We had several, it was early 2000s. Some of you in here have attended, and some that have passed on. That's what they always talked about, was the water aerobic classes and the mingling and getting to be there. And I'm just always thankful that the program carried it on after, Cynthia retired and Susan left, and, we all left, Velma, Thomasine. The only thing I ask is that, that yes, there's concerns of keeping it filled, and there's also the concerns of maintaining it. I had to learn how to do that. It's tested by every lifeguard at every shift, the upkeep of it. And just remember why we are passing this, and make sure that our elders can get to this pool. It is a great resource for them, and I'm appreciative of that. Meadow.
Any other questions, Representative Shaw?
Everybody's talking about water, water, water. I know we need the water, and you said you're gonna drill the well out there, and that's fine. But what are we gonna do with the water after we finish with it in that pool? Are we gonna build a waste water system that's big enough to do it down here because our lagoons couldn't handle it? Or are you gonna set up an aerobic system? What are we looking at? More money, on that? But looking at this, we're handing the administration a blank check, $3,500,000. And don't get me wrong, I like the water aerobics still, but even though my bikini don't fit no more, but we do need to know, where's that wastewater gonna go? Because right now, our lagoons can't handle it. At first, the first thing hit my mind when this came up was, where we gonna get the water? Because I'm getting tired of depending on a little 1-inch line coming in here trying to fill our tank up. They can't do it. When we're sitting here, I did not know that the council turned down the water. And I think that, I'll go from there. But the thing is, what are we gonna do with the water that comes off of there?
Most water that's in a pool is recycled back into the pool and treated, and you don't lose that much water as far as waste. Are you talking about the bathrooms, things of that nature? Because if there's any gray water that could be used, you could refunnel that with a plan to be used for agriculture, gardens, whatever for back there, because the diabetes program definitely wants to be able to do such things as that nature. So if there's additional water that can be used in reverse osmosis to put on plants, we'll be able to do that. For the first time, and I don't know how long, we quit wearing out our zero-turn radius lawnmowers, and we actually baled some hay here at the Miccosukee Mission. In the future, all the clearing, it will be good grass, and it will be able to be mowed, and some of it will be used as hay meadows as well. We live in a different era in the history of the world. We live in a time of climate change. We live in a time that some people even say, we may not see it, that people's gonna have to go underground just to be able to survive on this earth. I don't know that, that's what they say. But the thing of it is this, every move that we make as a tribe right now, and as a tribal nation, and I don't believe one of them's been made without the people in mind, without the tangible services of the people being able to embrace it, be able to touch it, be able to interactively participate in it. And long after we're all gone, they're gonna still be using this stuff, and it's gonna be good for the future generations as well. Representative Petit, and then we'll end the discussion on this and go to the question.
Chair, I think there's been a lot of conversation about where we're gonna get the water, where's the water gonna be disposed of and everything. This council on June 28th of 22 passed 2275, which was $2.5 million.
That's
for
true.
water and sewage to have something put together on that. And on 76, it was $200,000 to develop a system and everything here for the Veterans Center. And my question would have been today, had the environmental health been here today, is
Yes.
why have we not, as council, not seen any plans or anything so that we can set this thing forward? And one of the things I've always said is, and I think it was even mentioned today when Representative Jessup talked about the 80 acres deal. One of the first things you do whenever you start to do any kind of construction project is determine that you have adequate water and sewer and perhaps electrical in your area, because, we've all seen them build subdivisions and everything. And that's the first thing those people do before they start construction. And I think that's some of the things that our band has been concerned about, is all that we've started to do here on this property, and we haven't developed the infrastructure.
Outside of distribution, water infrastructure was the second item on the agenda. And everybody already said it today. This council voted down commercial water treatment and structure. We know that. That took place early on. We came back later and looked at the lagoon systems. Those lagoon systems are in the process of being bidded out. Do you know how many projects we have as a Seminole Nation? Over 60, 65 projects. So to answer your question, why this or why that, everybody knows where that lagoon was going. It's going over here. That one's going to be cleaned out, the big one, and one's going to be expanded. The other one's going over here on the other side of the campgrounds, on the other side of the Veterans Center. So those things will be done. They will be done. We're doing a project at Cornwall. We're fixing to break ground on that in the next week. When we came into office, they were going to give all that money back to the federal government, just hand it back over there to them, because they didn't want to execute or administrate those funds. We met with the feds, and it wasn't acceptable. That's not acceptable. And we're going to continue to move forward in that way. We will get this thing done, Representative Petit, whether I'm in this chair or not. It will get done. And the time frame, as you start your construction, it extends to 2026, okay, under these particular types of funds. So
I think one of the things we also need to consider too is the elevation of where that wellness center is located. Is there going to have to be a lift station involved to transport the sewage and the water and everything, or are we going to have a lagoon on this side of the property because the elevation of, I've always said this road right here, everything kind of leans one side, east or west from that road, and that's one of the things I think I know people in my band would like to know some of these things more specific wise, because we've already started doing these things, and we hope we have adequate supplies of each, water and sewer, so that we can maintain this fishing ground. So, I'll yield.
thank you for your comments and your questions, Representative Petit. Okay, no other questions or discussion?
Question.
Okay, this is TR 2023-61, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a one-time appropriation of $3,500,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds to expand the wellness center with an indoor-outdoor swimming pool and resistance pool. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman, Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Marilyn Moore,
No.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 17 yeses, 8 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 17 yes and 8 no and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-61 to have passed. TR 2023-62, a tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving revision to the 2024 budget of the Agricultural Food Sovereignty Initiative and incorporation of said budget into the FY 2024 comprehensive budget authorizing appropriation. Some of you, I entertain a motion to that effect. Motion approved by Representative Gonzalez, seconded by Representative Borba. We're in discussion. Anyone discussion on this? This is when the tornado hit the bubble wrapped pretend aquaponics greenhouse over here. It's the insurance money that SINDOC received. It's going to be used to repair that, move that, and build a new project. Representative McCoy.
Call for question.
Okay, TR 2023-63, this is the, 62, I'm sorry, is the tribe's basically taking back the greenhouse with this measure. Representative Narkemy.
Well, the question's already been called, then I guess that's that. I was going to say that I'm going to expound on what my colleagues over here, Representative Shaw and Representative Cootie had mentioned, that there are no details in this. No, don't get me wrong, I've been with the aquaponics project from the beginning, well, almost from the beginning, from an early stage. So I'm all for this. But this particular resolution has no details. It says it's going to be over at the vineyard. Where at the vineyard? It says it's going to be there. What kind, what size of a project are we talking about?
As big as we can build.
If you're going to build a store, I mean, part of our business here at the council is to run this as a business. So if someone presents an idea that they're going to build a store, it's up to the board to ask, how big a store? Where is the store going to be? what's this store gonna do? It all has to be in the presentation. And none of us here, you and I have gone over this before, that some of these resolutions just say, we're going to put it here, and we need you to vote for it. And that's, to be honest, that's kind of disrespectful to your council. We need more details. We need to know what size this is going to be. Where exactly is it going to be on the vineyard property? How much is this, a breakdown of what are the projected costs? But
We gotta get the,
defer.
we gotta
Thank
get, Representative Narcombe, we gotta get the money first.
But
You had the overall project. You went,
that's the idea.
okay,
Before the money can even begin, you have to present details.
let Sindoc have it then. And it's gonna sit there and rot. Because they took that inconspicuously and illegally in the first place. Representative Factor was, Man Chief Factor was with us. John, you was there. Representative Narcombe. I think Kelly Fusachi was there. We were supposed to get a state-of-the-art greenhouse, polycarbonated with shade cloth, environmentally controlled, which means it operates in the winter and it operates in the summer. Seminole State College was going to help us to be able to man that thing with students as they work towards their degree for the agriculture. But you know what happened? What happened is that was stolen from you. And I said, no, that's not the intention of that. I don't care. This is how it's going to happen. And now it's over there in shambles because of tornado. But we never was supposed to get a bubble-wrapped hoop house. We were supposed to get a state-of-the-art, just like they have at Eastern College and Redlands College. That's what we were supposed to get. But you know what? They probably didn't even spend that whole $200,000 on that imitation greenhouse over there. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
And we're going to take this insurance money and we're going to try to deliver what the council originally thought they did. That's what we're going to do if it passes.
And that's in the resolution. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Any other questions? Representative Shaw.
For the simple reason that we're right here gonna say we're gonna build this, tear this one down, go build this out there at the vineyard. Has anybody on this council been consulted about the use of the vineyard? I mean, that's a perfect place for it. Don't get me wrong, it's a perfect place for it. But don't you think that you need to have the land before you go build it? Now you're saying you're gonna build it there without, at the vineyard, without the approval of the general council, because we're the one that's, through our finances or whatever we get, are paying for that property that's out there.
Yeah, we were told not to let the
Don't you
thing.
think we should have asked the council, can we use that? Can y'all approve us to use that? Before you said we're gonna use it? In other words, that's dictating that you're gonna do this and do that without permission of the council. So I'm gonna yield the floor to that right there.
Well, we're not using it for a vineyard. That day is gone. It's got its own well. It's got its own irrigation system. It's got its own training system. It's got its own farm implements.
I'm not disputing any of that.
And we're
Not
going,
at all. I'm just saying, don't you think you should have asked the council to use that property before you decide to build it out there without?
we want to utilize,
I
Okay.
know what you're saying, and I understand it, but the thing is, they're saying, who let him use it? Who let him? That's what they're saying, him. And when they say him, they're looking right at you. So therefore, I'm asking, who let the administration use the vineyard without permission from the council? I mean,
we haven't used it. It's just sitting there. We haven't used it. We have saved it,
understand that 100%.
but we haven't used
Like
it.
I said,
You
don't
pass
be
this
thinking-
resolution and then the food initiative, plan coming
I'm
in.
100% behind it. Don't get me wrong. Though you're saying that we're gonna use this land, you're telling this nation, I'm gonna use this land regardless of whether y'all want it or not, without asking your permission.
We
Chair,
won't,
there's been a call for question, please.
we won't use it if the council doesn't pass these measures, obviously it's gonna sit there. Representative Hill? Thank you, Representative Hill. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Simpson,
Yeah.
Anthony Conley, John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy,
Yes.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw, Catherine McCoy, Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton. I have 24 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 24 yes, 2 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-62 to have passed. I want to inform the council as well as that the Seminole Nation has received word we will receive nearly $600,000 to help support the food sovereignty and security initiative, where we actually are going to be buying from our own tribal producers. So in the conjunction of everything that's going to take place, you start raising stuff, we can buy it from you, okay? So we really want to do what's good for the nation. We're not trying to breeze nothing by you. Representative Shaw.
Now, where you gonna build it? You haven't even asked permission to use that property. So therefore, I'm gonna step out of line here. If the council doesn't have any problem with it, I'm gonna make a verbal resolution. I know it's not
Can you
popular, but a verbal resolution that the Seminole Nation use the vineyard property as food sovereignty project. I'm asking that on the floor, and I ask for a second.
I second.
You already got a motion and a second. It could have came under other business.
Yeah, other business.
Will you accept it? Is there any objections to Representative Shaw and Representative Thunder motion to be added to under other business after we finish new business? If there's no objection, I'm going to say this to you, Representative Shaw, thank you, because I know that too. I know what you're saying. I appreciate it. Okay, TR 2023-63. Okay, we're moving that motion and that verbal motion to other business. Okay, TR 2023-63, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving renewal of PL 93-638 contract with the Bureau of Indian Affairs for tribal enrollment, communications, community development, and CDIB programs on behalf of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. Budget Officer, well, we're going to get this on the floor. I entertain a motion. A motion by Representative Petit, second by Representative Narkemy. Any questions? It's pretty forward. Federal funds, keep those programs going. There's no questions, Budget Officer. Secretary, call the roll. This is TR 2023-63.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Marilyn Moore,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko, Danita Harjo,
Abstain.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 23 yeses, 0 nos, 2 abstain.
With a count of 23 yes and 0 no and 2 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-63 to have passed. 2023, TR 2023-64, Representative Gonzalez.
Tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the Seminole Nation Division of Commerce 2024 budget and incorporation of said budget in the FY 2024 comprehensive budget. Make a motion to approve and ask for a second.
Second.
We had Chairman Harjo here earlier, and he said that he was willing to come and explain this, but he had a funeral today, and he recommended that it go on the special call meeting coming up in September. And I'm going to share this with you. We have an opportunity in transportation to submit for a grant that we have a big chance of getting. It looks good. If we were able to, and it has to be turned in by the 28th of this September. If we were to receive that grant, that would open the offices over here at the transportation building and the maintenance as their new facilities are built. There, it would be up to the council, but there's already an existing resolution to bring the complex over to the Miccosukee Mission. If they were able to acquire those funds and build a brand new facility, I think it could be the start of moving the tribal complex after retrofitting that place to become the new tribal complex here at the Miccosukee Mission. So that's why we're going to have a special call meeting. There'll be some other items, but this one here, Chairman Harjo asked to be addressed at that special call meeting. Representative Yeslith.
Yes, Chair, my ban asked for this to be tabled, due to there's no job descriptions on the new jobs.
Okay, there's a motion to table and a second. It will come up at the next meeting if this passes this table. Okay? Secretary, call the roll. This is for tabling this item. TR 2023-64.
Leetta Sampson. Anthony Conley. John Narkemy.
Yes.
Rena Tiger.
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman.
Yes.
Terry Edwards.
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez.
Yes.
Leon Petit.
Yes.
Joseph Billy. Dolores Harjo. Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert, Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Marilyn Moore,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
No.
David Frank,
No.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge,
No.
Desiree Emerton.
No.
I have 16 yeses, 6 nos, 2 abstain.
With a count of 16 yes and 6 no and 2 abstentions, I declare that TR 2023-64 has been tabled till the next meeting. We have TR 2023-65, Finance Committee, Representative Gonzalez.
Tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the fiscal year 2024 Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise Budget and incorporation of said budget in the fiscal year 2024 comprehensive budget and authorizing an appropriation. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's been a motion to approve and second by Representative Gonzalez and seconded by Representative Pittman. We have a question by Representative Yesleth and then Representative Shaw. And are you here to represent S&G? Yeah, go ahead and come up here, and I'll let you call on them. Mr. Shepherd, it's Representative Yesleth, and then Representative Shaw, and I will be right back.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Chair, okay, my band asked for this to be tabled as well due to the discrepancies in the raises and the information not provided accurately.
There's been a motion by Miccosukee Band. Is that a second, Representative Cootie? Is that a second, Representative Cootie? Yes, there's a motion and table by Representative Yesleth, seconded by Representative Cootie. This is TR 2023-65. No discussion on a table. I'm sorry, Representative.
Like, why and when will this be brought back up?
It will be brought up about after Nation Days at a special call meeting. Well, it's going to be before then because that transportation grant has to be submitted by the 28th. I don't have that date just yet, but we will. But no discussion on table. It will be brought up before deadlines of the 30th of September, okay, if this table passes. Secretary, this is the table TR 2023-65. Call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley, John Narkemy, Rena Tiger, Anastasia Pittman, Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
No.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy,
Secretary.
Dolores Harjo,
Have to be the
Karen Fulbright,
No.
but
Ann
it's gonna
Borba,
be before
No.
that day because we got to send that grant in by that
Sina
date.
Yeslith,
And then they
Yes.
have to have approved budgets by then because fiscal year starts there.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Marilyn Moore,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
No.
David Frank,
No.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge, Desiree Emerton,
No.
I have 14 yeses, 10 nos, 0 abstain.
With a count of 14 yes, 10 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023 -65 to have been tabled until the next meeting. Okay, we are on TR 2023-66.
Chair, sorry, real quick, you keep mentioning we're gonna have an upcoming meeting, can you provide me with the date, please?
We're looking at the 23rd.
The 23rd, thank you.
We're looking at the 23rd.
Okay,
We'll confirm that Monday,
okay, thank you.
or Tuesday when we get back in the office. TR 2023-66. A tribal resolution, Representative Dethridge. Two 2023-66.
By and between Potawatomi County, Public Safety Center Jail Services and the Seminole Nation Light Force. Make a motion for approval, and that's for second.
There's a motion to approve, seconded by Representative Shaw. Motion was made by Representative Dethridge. Is there any discussion? We do have Light Horse here. There's no discussion? Secretary, this is TR 2023-66. Detention agreement with Potawatomi County.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman, Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Abstain.
Charlie Hill, Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge, Desiree Emerton.
Yeah.
I have 19 yeses, 0 nos, 4 abstain.
With a count of 19 yes, 0 no, and 4 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-66 to have passed. TO 2023-07, this is a tribal ordinance. I believe Representative Conley, you said that you would withdraw this for the time being, and there was some questions. I think BCR wanted to be able to maybe their attorneys meet with the AG on this, and then any of the other concerns that you may have had as council reps or band chiefs, and this we'll withdraw this. Do you want to withdraw it or have it tabled? Well, they can correct anything and add to if you withdraw it, and then we bring it back in new language. Right. I'll say, at this time, TO 2023-07 will be withdrawn. We are now on TO 2023-08. Representative Dethridge. This is a tribal ordinance, 2023-08. Did you want to
Anita Harjo to, take up this legislation.
Representative Harjo, you want to sponsor this?
Yes,
You want to go forward with it?
yes.
Okay, then, this is a tribal ordinance of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, amending Chapter 8 of Title 11A of the Seminole Nation Code of Laws. You make that motion, Representative Harjo?
I make a motion to approve and ask for a second.
There's been a motion to approve,
Second.
second by Representative Chupko. We're in discussion. Please, address your questions to the Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you, briefly tell us what the amendment change will be? I don't have that language in front of me, or Title 11A.
Currently, and I've been working with Taro for this on quite some time, the Taro program does not get to keep any of its own funding. So the purpose of this ordinance would be that if Taro got any funding from the nation, they would pay that funding back. And then any additional funding on top of that, they would get to keep. They would be allowed to keep 60% of that, and 40% would go back to the nation. So that would be similar to a split that, say, SNGE or SNDOC would have on a revenue share with the nation. So that was the idea. And we can go through any of the specific language if it's unclear.
The implementation date would be what? When would this go into effect?
I was assuming the next budget cycle, but I understand your point that I probably should have put, that we should have put an implementation date specific in it. So it does, I was assuming the next budget cycle because it's so close, but I see that I should have added that. I apologize.
It's no problem. Our next funding date cycle is October 1st.
Right.
So if it passes today, we would like for it to go into effect on October 1st. I just wanted to be careful that if we passed it today, we need a date in it.
Right, October 1st. And I apologize for the oversight from my office.
Thank you.
Representative Shaw.
Okay, I'm looking at this right here. It says establishment. We can't establish this because we don't have a snare roll office yet. Under A, third line down, or second line, says supervisory position will be the snare roll office. And we don't even have a snare roll office because it was tabled a minute or withdrawn a minute ago. So therefore, there's no need in even talking about this or bringing it up because we don't have anybody to oversee it. So I want to bring that to you, but the other thing is that it states that the director shall report directly to the executive office of the nation. That means they could bypass this general counsel and never come to this council. No report have to be given out of that office to this council. So better be careful on the way you read it. The shall means they will. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, like I said, y'all vote your conscience, but I'm telling you now, we don't have a snare roll officer, so how are we gonna implement that's like a while ago, I was telling y'all, we're getting land over here, we're gonna build on this land, and we don't even have the land yet. So, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to, I'm not even gonna ask to table it because it's not even worth tabling. I'm sorry, but, am I wrong or am I right, AG?
Well,
Sit directed towards AG.
Yes. Yeah, the office and the commissioners.
This was to be an amendment of the current tarot code, and line 51 discusses establishment. And I was not aware of the legislative history you're discussing. I have an 11A in my, the codes of laws I have. What exactly is the question? It's the tarot office is not called Seminole Nation Employee Rights Office? Is that the confusion, or what have I done?
A minute ago, we were fixing to, what do you call it, before Mr. Depp pulled it, we were fixing to have a SNARO office. Now, we don't have a SNARO office because he pulled that resolution, because that was creating it.
I'm confused because we got a separate sponsor for this resolution.
It doesn't make any
Ordinance.
difference how many sponsors you got. You can have 100 sponsors, it's still one resolution feeds off the other resolution. If you read it correctly, the one that Mr. Dethridge pulled was creating a SNARO office. And then the next one is saying that it'll go under the SNARO office. That's like, we don't have that office, so therefore, I'm not even on the table. I think we need to just vote it down and let it go at that. Go back to the drawing board. I'm sorry.
Representative Harjo, Representative Chupko, if you choose to withdraw it and get more work on this, and this is what I've warned about, bringing in legislation when it depends on statute and ordinance, and that goes for any of these programs, BCR or gaming or whoever you might be. Don't be sending this stuff up here and saying it's ready when it's not. And I'm not getting on to nobody. I'm just saying, please don't be sending it up here when it's not ready. And telling me that it is. You're gonna withdraw? Withdraw and bring it back another time. Okay. He was.
That's what I,
He was. He was. Yeah, we can't, when we're dealing with tribal code, that's why we can't have amendments verbally to tribal code. It's not good to do that. It's good to have it in writing, period. No friendly amendments to tribal code and all that good stuff, okay? Because that's just not good to do that way. But we do appreciate the efforts up to this point, but I think more work needs to be done on it, okay? So will you withdraw it? You as well, Representative Chepko? Okay.
Yes, I'll just
Okay.
withdraw it and we'll
Okay.
bring it back.
That's where we're at. Now we're on other business. No, we're not. We're at the end of new business, and we decided early on to go back to the first resolution of the day and respect to the Sige Hajo ban. If Representative Deatherage was to be approved to be on the SNGE board, then he can't be on the council any longer. So that's why we put it at the end of the last item of new business. Okay, and that's where we're at right now. I stuck it in here. Can somebody read that resolution, please? Okay, thank you.
Tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma confirming the appointment of Willis Dethridge to the Gaming Enterprise Board.
I'll second.
Discussion? Representative Pittman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would you remind us again of Mr. Detrick's qualifications for those of us who need to be refreshed?
Representative Deatherage, could you hand that to her because yeah, It was attached, but you may not have it. You know, when you nominate somebody, like I nominated for Intertribal Council, Representative Shaw and Representative Cootie, and then when things came up to question for the Intertribal Council, I backed those nominations. I backed this nomination. I'm going to tell you why, as a chief, I did. Representative Dethridge is willing to give up a seat on the Honorable General Council of the Seminole Nation. He has a desire to serve us. We are going into a new era in how we conduct gaming in the Seminole Nation in the near future. Representative Dethridge has shown throughout his experiences that he's not only interested in experience and bringing resolve into very complex, complicated situations. My lands, when we went through those non-compliant issues several years ago, do you know what? They dissolved the board and they handed it over to the executive office, the general counsel did. And everybody thought that was the close of the coffin to our gaming. We pulled together, and I say we, that's the executive office at that time, that was a Seminole Gaming agency, that was Seminole Gaming Enterprise. Representative Dethridge led the Seminole Gaming Agency with his regulators and other staff, and we got the job done. We went to Washington several times, and we got the job done. Some people planned for us to close the casinos. You like me to be truthful, and I love to be truthful. They thought that was the political coffin, pins in the coffin. For me, it was for Chief Arjo, and that's why it was handed over to executive, because they thought we were going to fail. We did not fail the Seminole Nation. Representative Dethridge, as a gaming agency, did not fail the Seminole Nation. But the next year, he was awarded Gaming Commissioner nationally awarded. Terry Hale received a national award. And the chairman of NIGC, when he visited us, this is what he said. You don't know this. He said, y'all must love your people. Because we didn't only go present professionally to that chairman at that time. We actually pled with him to let the Seminole Nation continue. Our gaming facilities are open to this day because of the efforts of many people. You're some of those people that helped us get there, and I appreciate that. Also, Mr. Dethridge was there as well. Representative Hill.
Chairman, if you can sit up there as chairman and also the chief of the Seminole Nation and speak for Mr. Dethridge here and all that, I see no reason why the other two people that applied over a month ago as applicants for the board member for Enterprise, that we have an opportunity to also speak on their behalf, okay? And not only that, as you well know, in the Constitution, it says when we are elected as chief, assistant chief, or general counsel reps, under Article 9, it says that we all take oaths and all that to be faithfully to the nation, etc. However, whoever wrote that forgot the word called truthfully. So what I'm telling you is that I'm not saying that you're lying or anything, but however, it appears as though that we have the right also to speak on the other two's behalf. If you can do it as a chairman, we are the council that are going to be voting for that person once you make an appointment.
We're in discussion. Yes, go right ahead. Yes, continue.
In discussion on what?
There's a motion and second on the floor. He read it, made that motion. Representative Dethridge, did you make that motion? Is there a second to that motion? There's a second. Representative Fulbright, you make that motion?
I
Second.
did.
Okay, I thought we had a motion on the floor, second. But anyway, thank you for those comments, Representative Hill. Any other discussion? If Chief Palmer was here, I would have let him chair so I could speak, but he's not. Okay, Secretary, call the roll. This is to appoint Willis Dethridge to the Seminole Gaming Enterprise Board.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy, Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman, Anastasia Pittman,
Abstain.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
No.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Marilyn Moore,
No.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
No.
Wayne Shaw, Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton,
Yes.
I have 10 yeses, 14 noes, 1 abstain.
With a count of 10 yes and 14 noes and 1 abstention, I declare that resolution to have failed. Now we are in other business. We do appreciate Representative Dethridge willing to do that and vacate his seat if it would have passed. He will continue to be the representative, obviously, for the Tosiga Harjo band. Okay, we're under other business. And we have the resolution for appointment of Tanya Matthews to the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise Board. You would have received her resume and her credentials. I entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion by Representative Fulbright, seconded by Representative Lena. Representative McCoy.
Yes, I believe she's here. Can she approach the floor for any questions?
Yes, she is here.
Hello. Hello, thank you for coming today. You're welcome. You look familiar. Were you here last week at the council meeting?
I was, yes.
Okay. So I noticed on your resume that you submitted that you are currently the executive director of the Gaming Commission for the Peoria Tribe. Is that still correct?
Yes,
I assume that's like a 40-hour plus job?
yes.
Okay. So my question is, how much time can you invest on being on the board? I know you weren't here earlier, but I'm sure you're aware, the Gaming Enterprise Board meets once a month.
Yes.
And so I think Mr. Shepherd was trying to clear up the fact of whether it's virtual or in person, or maybe it's both. I don't really have a clear understanding of what that is, but can you dedicate that time? And if so, can you expand on that, please?
Yes, yes, I can. I mean, yes, my job is, Monday through Friday, 40 hours, mostly, more than that. But given the opportunity, I mean, I have plenty of leave and I have plenty of time that I can take to dedicate to this. Mr. Shepherd has made it clear that it's going to be a little bit more than once a month, up front. But I see no issue, being able to handle that.
And if the meetings happen to be totally in person, what about, I mean, that's probably like a whole day you're spending here, right, driving back and forth?
Yes, and same thing. I mean, I have no issue with that. I don't mind driving. It's about almost 3 hours from my house, so.
May I ask, how did you find out that we had an open position?
Actually, Mr. Shepherd contacted me. I saw him a couple weeks ago at OIGA, which is where I met him the first time, which is Oklahoma Indian Gaming Association. And I guess him seeing me there reminded him that, you know, I might be a good person for this position, so.
All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Representative Billy, then Representative Shaw. Representative Billy.
I have a question, on your resume,
Mhm.
your tribe affiliation,
Mhm.
and what is that?
Oh, so I'm enrolled Peoria, but I'm also blood of Quapaw, Shawnee, and Wyandotte.
Okay,
Peoria doesn't allow dual enrollment, so I'm only on Peoria.
I'm looking at the bill here, TR 2023-67. It says that you are, Tanya R. Matthews is an enrolled member of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm not an enrolled member of Seminole Nation.
Who would have put that in there? Attorney General? We have a professional position that's on that board. And I knew this lady was in the Seminole. So if she was selected today, she would fill that professional position. We would still have one Seminole board member open, being that Representative Deathridge's resolution failed. So she would have filled that professional, non-tribal member position.
Yes, sir, I understand that, but in a business world, any corrections could cost you a lot of money, and it should have been corrected, am I right?
I didn't even see that, and that slipped by like that, but yes. I entertain a motion to do a friendly amendment to adjust that portion of that resolution to strike Seminole Nation tribal member. Come on, you're legislators, you know what you need to do. Representative Gonzalez.
Yes, I'll make a friendly amendment to adjust item number 44 to strike that as where it indicates that she is an enrolled tribal member of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma.
Second.
Okay, there's a friendly amendment to that, and a second, and the original motion, y'all accept that friendly amendment? The original motion, y'all affect that, y'all do? The second does as well? Okay. So that's been accepted, and that's accepted, it's stricken. Representative Shaw.
One question. Will this be a conflict of interest because you're working for another gaming entity?
No, actually, before I even agreed to come to this meeting, I made sure I checked with my chief, which is Chief Harper, who's also my boss, and he's our tribal administrator. And I also checked with my commission chairman, Marcel Walther, and then also our compliance officer with NIGC for the Tulsa region. And I got the green light from all three of them that it wouldn't be a conflict.
But I'm talking about personally.
Yeah, personally, no, it's not a conflict.
That's what I want to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
I'll call for question.
Okay, this is the resolution. Secretary, can you give me that number? Mine's somehow lost in the shuffle right here.
44? Oh, 67.
It's at 67? TR 2023-67 with amendments, okay? With the amendments. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Marilyn Moore,
No.
Ensign Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
No.
Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy, Charlie Hill, Tommy Chupko, Danita Harjo, Willis Dethridge, Desiree Emerton. I have 10 yeses, 13 nos, 2 abstain.
10 yes, 13 no. We'll continue to, we appreciate you traveling as far as you did. That resolution fails. You've come a long ways to be with us, and you had excellent credentials. I will not nominate those two that those bands are trying to force into over our gaming. It is the chief's option by tribal code and law. I'll nominate those two that you keep on trying to press. And where's the recording? I want that to go on record. And if you want me to share why, believe me, you don't want me to. Believe you me, you don't want me to share. I don't want to. I don't want to have to.
Over here.
I saw Representative Shaw's hand first, and then Representative Fulbright.
We put another thing on the end of the agenda, if you remember.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's exactly.
Land up there, if y'all gonna let them have the land under a verbal, resolution, I'll make that, verbal resolution that land be used for that, food, with the putting on the food.
Thank you, Representative Shaw, for reminding us. It needs to can the language be something similar to this? Because several years ago, the Seminole Nation gave it to the Seminole Nation Winery LLC. Can the language be that that the Seminole Nation is taking it back? Something similar to that? Attorney General, what's the legal jargon?
I'd rather be, say, rescinding that former resolution, whatever it was, rescind it, so replace it with the one that I'm asking for today.
Excellent. That's the way sometimes it's done.
Second.
Rescinding whatever resolution, and I don't know what, at the top of my head, what that was. But the Seminole Nation gave that winery to that LLC. Now we're taking it back. But that's good. That's good. That's what you got to do legally. Does everybody understand what we're doing? We're rescinding the old resolution that the General Counsel, we've been paying for it. So, and we're going to pay it off if the council passes the food initiative. That's in that next resolution coming in September. Okay, everybody know what we're doing? Rescinding.
Call for question.
Okay, we're rescinding and at the same time approving it for food security, food sovereignty initiative. Secretary?
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley, John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman, Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy,
Abstain.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Abstain.
Charlie Hill,
Abstain.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 18 yeses, 3 noes, 4 abstain.
With a count of 18 yes, 3 noes, and 4 abstentions, I declare that to have passed.
Sure.
Yes, Representative Fulbright?
I'm getting a lot of complaints that the people that are viewing cannot hear. The sound system is really bad when they're trying to listen to what's going on in the meetings. And I know last week during the presentations, they said they really couldn't hear hardly at all. I don't know if there's anything that can be done with that because of the area that we're in or what, but even in here, it sounds like everybody's muffled. Everybody sounds muffled. And, is there something we can do on that or?
I believe we are expecting to be moved into the new facility the next time this council meets.
Yay. And also, I think I have talked to you about possibly getting some little buttons for us to push yes or no during meetings. So the council secretary doesn't have to do roll call every time, and maybe that'll kind of speed up things where our votes
I don't
will just
know,
show up.
we'll have to
Is that possible?
we'll have to research the code
Okay.
and the Constitution, and that's not historically how we've done things, but we'll sure enough look at it.
I think that would be nice.
Well, yeah, it
And
would.
you're not looking at each other to see how somebody else votes, so you could vote the same way, you know?
All right,
But anyway,
Representative
thank you.
Fulbright. We'll just have, that has to be a council-approved measure, you know. Representative Emerton?
Yeah, TR 2023-62. Could we look at the count again?
Are you counting? Did you have a count or recount? Go
I
ahead.
see it. It's 23 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstain.
That was on the last measure.
The original one was 24, 2, and 0
Okay, on the very last measure that the council voted on.
on 62. 23, 62, the aquaponic one.
Okay, she corrected the count on that. Read that again, Council Secretary. What was your count again? 23?
23, 2, 0.
23 to 0. She shared with me she wasn't feeling very well today. So sometimes human error is there. Representative Lena.
Yes, the old cheesy band would like to recommend a vote of no confidence through a verbal resolution for the Terrell Director, Mr. Carter, Reason is, not responding to contractors to hire Seminole workers from her office, and we believe that is a terrible requirement.
There's been a motion on the floor, a verbal motion. A vote of no confidence for the Terrell director.
Second.
Second by Representative Franks and Representative Deathridge.
Mr. Chairman, proper motion because I think the chairman of the commission should have gone to the commission to address this issue. I think that.
Really, when the council votes, it's usually not encouraged to do that. But if the council chooses to, they have the power to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, they got the power to do a lot of things. The power if they choose to. So there is a motion on the floor and a second. We try to discourage the no confidence coming from this floor, but because we have processes towards that. So for clarity purposes, this is made a motion by Representative Lena, seconded by Representative Franks. A vote of no confidence for the Terra director. And then Representative Fulbright.
So what does that mean?
Just what it means.
That, I mean, it's not gonna go anywhere, do that.
It's a statement.
Just a statement.
If it was to pass.
We could do that for a while.
All right, Representative Petit.
Some of us here don't really know in writing, and I'd like to see something in writing to verify that none of this is taking place. Because today, we just have to listen to the motion being made. I want something more concrete before I submit a vote. But no confidence from someone whenever, I don't know. I don't know what she has and hasn't done.
Yeah, there's a motion and second. And vote accordingly. Representative Pittman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to table this motion.
Second.
Till we can get, an opportunity to have them put it in writing, present it to the council, give, whoever the director of Turo is, an opportunity to come before this council and give an explanation as to why they haven't responded.
Okay, there's a motion to table that motion of no confidence and a second. So we're voting on the table. Okay?
Yes, I don't understand the problem.
Okay, no. You can table any motion that's been made. Okay? So, no, there's no discussion on table.
I mean, I just have one clarification. So you're wanting that individual to come up before the council who's an employee to kind of question them on things on why you got voted no confidence.
Well, I'm saying.
All right. I'm going to stop this right now. If you want to table this, General Counsel, you table it. There's no discussion on the table. Okay? Okay, you vote accordingly. There's no discussion on table. No talking across the floor, please. That's just the way that it works, folks. This is the table. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger, Anastasia Pittman, Terry Edwards, Ida Gonzalez,
No.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy,
Yes.
Dolores Harjo,
Yes.
Karen Fulbright,
No.
Ann Borba, Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena. David Frank.
No.
Tiffany Thunder.
Yes.
Wayne Shaw. Catherine McCoy.
Yes.
Charlie Hill.
Yes.
Tommy Chupko.
Yes.
Danita Harjo. Willis Dethridge. Desiree Emerton. I have 17 yeses, 7 nos, 1 abstain.
With a count of 17 yes and 7 noes and 1 abstention, I declare that verbal motion to have been tabled. We have concluded with the agenda of this quarterly meeting. I'm supposed to give a report on this first Saturday, and many would rather just have it sent to you. Y'all want me to talk for 2 hours? Okay, if there's no objections, I'll send that report to you. Representative Shaw.
Is there any way we did it all the time when we were over there? We furnish coffee, drinks, snacks for the council and the audience. Is there any way that we can put that incorporated into our little budget that we're overspending, that we can do that?
We're going to be in a new facility next council meeting. There's going to be a cafe and everything. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, we got to laugh sometimes. Okay, that concludes the agenda for the quarterly meeting of September 2023. I entertain a motion. Representative Dethridge made the motion as I heard it. What did you say, Representative Shaw?
That's what I said,
Okay, Representative Shaw spoke before you did, Representative Fulbright. There's no objections to adjourning? And don't forget to pray. Okay, after I declare this meeting adjourned, I will dismiss us in prayer. We are adjourned. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day that you've given to us, the many discussions that have taken place upon this council floor, many great comments. We do thank you for each and every one that's here today, those that represent their distinguished bands, those who look out for the well-being of our people. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace. We thank you that the Seminole Nation continues to exist and to thrive. Help us to continue to do that in a good way and protect everyone as they go to their place of abode. Forever we'll give you honor, give you thanks. In thy name we do pray. Amen.